Touch your hand doing this the first time. You can sat here all spring, summer, fall, sunk down. So it's just not the same level as what it's picked up in the cups. That's a good thing. Makes life easier. Had to push the truck a little further into it here. So the hydraulics released. There we go, got the left one started. See if I can get the right one started. Like I said, it's not quite where it used to be. There we go. Things are starting to happen. Left pin's in. Right pin's in. Fortunately, this plow doesn't weigh much. You can wiggle and jiggle it. Alright. Come on. Grass and crap jamming in it. Alright. Now it should pick up. Something wrong. This is a good reason why check stuff over and you don't wait till the first storm. So I got the plow on. I've got control because the hydraulics released so I could push the headgear up and lock it in. That happened. But I have no power to raise it up or angle it. So I need to be able to pick the thing up. And I've got a blinky light on the control. So something's wrong. Well, the something wrong is I have no power. Why do I not have power? Now I need to figure that out. I suspect the issue is going to be right here. Come on out of there. In this plug. It's probably just all geebed up in here. So, I'm going to go at it with some WD-40. And to get up in there and clean her out, we've got a 22 caliber bore brush. Clean that all up in good shape. Might just be some corrosion and crap up in there. It happens. This is the high current side. This goes right straight up to the battery. We don't want to short those out. It wouldn't be good. So I'm in the positive side now. If I short that out to the frame or something, bad things are going to happen. I can see some crap coming out of there. Let's check this side. Yeah, we got a little bit of junk in there. WD-40 ain't gonna hurt a thing here. This side we don't have any electricity in. So we'll scrub them up. There's a couple of other pins in here also. Alright, see what smokes. Well, that didn't resolve it. Time to go deeper. Yep, we got voltage at the plug. She's showing 14.8. Alright. So I know that's good. Alright, well, next stop, maybe these are... Yeah, they look like them might be a little compressed. Sometimes that happens. The male pins here will get a little tight. They need to get spread apart, so we'll try that. Sometimes they just don't make good contact inside the plug. Start with all the simple stuff first before we start getting to the complicated stuff. Come on, get in there. Alright, see if that does it. Yeah, let's see if she goes up. Still have my blinky red light, which I shouldn't have. I had no control, no nothing. Well, we keep on going, I guess. Crawling here, see if something's come unglued inside of here. Yeah, we got a mouse nest. I wonder if they chewed a freaking wire off or something. Freaking things. Damn rodents. I gotta take this off anyway to change the fluid. Yeah, see right there, you got a friggin' rodent nest. Yep, got a broken wire right there. That's probably the problem. So this is the brains behind the whole operation. Yep, and they've chewed off the red wire right there. Yeah, I'd say I've found the friggin' issue. Yep, chewed that. Yep, there we go. How about that? Freaking mice. Oh, so there's the black wire I just pulled out for you. And I think that's one end of it. And I can get all this crap out of the way. Here is a chewed red one. You can see they chewed the insulation off on it. Now, wouldn't this be fun out here in the middle of a friggin' storm? What I would do is I would pick this thing up with a ratchet strap and get it in the shop to work on it if it was a bad storm. But still, if I had to plow snow right now, this would suck having to fix all this when I really needed it. Okay, well, there's that. Where the hell does it go? Right there. Okay, that's a ground. Okay, that ain't gonna be too bad. I can fix this. I can fix this. And I can seal that back up. Alright, I can do this. You know, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Pull it up with a ratchet strap so I can take it over to the shop. I'm not just using butt splices on this because it needs to be sealed. Don't want moisture getting in here and corrosion starting. So I'm soldering it up. And I'm going to seal it. Got the black piece replaced. That was just a ground wire. Here's another piece they pretty well chewed through. So I just cut this little piece out and I'm just gonna splice it together, solder it, and seal it. I think I have it fixed. Let's see what we get. Hey, I have a solid red light now. It goes up. Look at that. It's amazing what happens when the wires are connected. Well, the project I set out to do before having that little wiring debacle was to change the cutting edge on the plow and to change the fluid in it. Come on, get on there. Get out of here. Cooperate with me. One more. Here's the current cutting edge. She's worn down. So the yellow is called the mold board. You notice we're down hard on the mold board. We're flush. So we're going to compare that to the new one when we get it on there. If you wonder how much that sucker right there costs, you're looking at $200. As you can see, most of it does not get used. After I get this thing on here, I'll show you how much of it actually can get worn down before you hit the mold board. So even though this thing is heavy, it's not that hard to put it on if you do it right, like I'm doing it. We don't pick it up at all. You notice I got a cement block there. That's my cranium saver. Like when I'm reaching up under, doing whatever, just in case something lets go on the hydraulics. See how easy it is to pick up? Something lets go, I don't get my cranium crushed or arms crushed or anything like that. It's going to stop on that cement block. There we go. Here's the new edge. You can see the difference on the mold board, right? It's about 1 knuckle. So that's how much wear I've got. I did wear on the mold board with the old one. I should have replaced this last year. Alright. Let's give this whole baby some new go-go juice. Plug it off there so I don't worry about oil filling this. Come on, get back up in there, you friggin' thing. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be hard to get a plug back up in a hole. It's about drained out now. Holds about 1.5 quarts in there. Crack these lower lines off and drain the piston out and drain these lines off for the angle rams. There we go. So much fun getting in these places. At least the plow fluid is blue. So if you get a leak somewhere, you can find it real easy when it's snowing out. The Kubota fluid is clear, so if you get a leak, it's a real pain trying to locate. I've got the blade picked up just a whisker with the ratchet strap, which angles the pistons downhill a little bit. So now I'm going to push back on the right piston with the hose disconnected and squirt some fluid out of it. Try and catch that in my bucket. Okay, now I can pull the left side back and you can see it squirting out of there. I'm going to go as slow as I can because I don't want it being a geyser. But now we're going to, see it? Now we're going to clear the left piston out. Just a little bit at a time. It's all going in our bucket, just what we want. Got the pistons drained out, got the lines all hooked back up. Now we can put some juice back in there. I always keep this kind of stuff on hand. Matter of fact, these are my last, I can just go a little jig in there and get rid of. These are my last 2 quarts sitting here, so when I go into town again, I'm gonna restock. See, if you're out plowing in the middle of a storm and you spring a leak or something like that and you lose a bunch of fluid, guess what? Around here you don't have a 24/7 store that's open and waiting for you to come in and get plow fluid. It ain't gonna happen. So if you don't have it, you ain't getting it till maybe the next day if you're lucky. And if it's Sunday, you ain't gonna get it. So you better have it. Do this without the truck running. I can just run off the battery. See what we get. Get her purged out here. All right, we're doing good. Having stuff on hand, like the wire I used, heat shrink to fix the wiring debacle, that was all right here. I fixed it. I didn't have to go anywhere to get parts and pieces. Having plow fluid, so on and so forth. You know, unfortunately, the guy who runs the local auto parts store, we've known each other, you know, since we were kids. I've got his personal cell number. I could call him up in the middle of the night on a weekend. Hey, I'm in a pickle. Any way I can get in there. And if he's around and it was an emergency, I could get in the store. And if they had it, I could get it. But I'm not taking advantage of that. And if it's, you know, well, I sprung a leak and I fixed my problem and I don't have any fluid because I'm too stupid to keep extra fluid on hand, whose fault is that? That's my fault, right? You keep things on hand when you're in the business of pushing around snow and so on and so forth. It's just common sense. Some people don't. I have literally worked for a guy who owned a snow plowing business, and we have known that there was major snowstorm incoming, and I went, got in the plow truck, and the low gas light was on. He sent me out to go plow with no gas. You go fill everything up before the storm gets in, right? Nope, not this guy. So, what do you do when the power goes out and you can't get gas at the gas station? I did get caught with his pants down once. He literally went to the gas station during a storm to get gas because he was hard on empty. Just got his truck filled up and the power went out. So what do you tell your customers if, you know, you got there 30 seconds too late, a minute too late, and you couldn't get gas. So you can't go out and plow today or tonight because you can't get gas in your truck. Well, sorry, I can't come and do the job I committed to do for you because I was just too stupid to put, fuel in my truck before the storm got here. And I had nothing at home for extra, no nothing like that, because I'm an idiot. Yep. Just squirting some WD-40 on these electrical contacts in here. It's not going to hurt nothing. Ain't going to hurt nothing to squirt on these hydraulic fittings either. The last thing I'm doing is just going to check everything over while it's on the truck, and then I'm going to check things when it's off the truck. And I'm going to grease these mounting pins, because I can't grease in there real good when it's on the truck. It's easier to do it off the truck. Stuff like this, it's getting shots of D40. Definitely not going to hurt anything, right? So I'm just looking for cracks, anything broken, anything that needs attention now. So look everything all over in good shape. I got a bolt down there on the lift piston. Check that, make sure the nut's on there good. Check my main hinge pin, so on and so forth. Look my welds over, look everything over. That right there, it looks like a crack, but it's not a crack. That's just a break in the paint. Check those pins, the ram pins. I was talking about when it was on the truck, and I was looking it over. I've got spray silicone lubricant. Grease that on there in good shape on the mounting pins. Just can't do that real good when it's on the truck. You can get the outer, but you can't get the inner. Notice I'm not bashful with it. Give it to her. Work it in there in good shape. There. The last thing is I got dielectric grease, so that means it conducts electricity. I'm gonna goop some of that in here on these pins, just so I don't forget to do it next time. Just like that. Kind of looks like silicone, but it's not silicone. So it's a grease, it's a lubricant, it conducts. Now when I plug this all back together again, that's going to start working its way into the other end of the plug, into the female end of the plug. And we're going to do the same thing. It is like silicone. It gets everywhere. Yeah, that's why I have crappy clothes, right? I'll put some right there on the main power connectors. Just like that. So, yep, everything plugs together again. It'll just start working its way into the other ends. Helps preserve stuff and conducts electricity at the same time. This plow is 8 years old right about now, and she's holding up pretty good. Needs a little maintenance here and there, not a big deal. Everything does, right? So my hoses look good, fittings look good. Cotter keys look good on the springs, on the trip edge. Pins are all still intact. Nuts, bolts, the whole kit and caboodle. Fluids changed. I had to readjust the right headlight. It was kind of cockeyed a little bit. It happens. So we should be all set, ready to move the weight stuff when it gets here. Catch ya.